Welcome in. This is our week 2 college football betting card. Now, if you watched last week's, it started out good and then ended uh, really bad. The 7 o'clock window was brutal. I think we went 0-3 in the 7 o'clock window. The 12 o'clock window was great. The Friday card was great. We went 2-0 on Friday. I think we went like 2-0 in 12 o'clock. I think we like split at 3:30 and then 7:30 we got killed. But that's how this happens, especially if you're going to make a lot of plays, stuff like that's bound to happen. Our two favorite trends are back this week, right? Unders when the wind is 15 plus miles per hour is one of the best betting trends in all of betting. And then road conference dogs when they're plus 9.5 or greater and the total's 48.5 or lower is also one of the best trends in all of betting. Both cashed really well for me last year. I mean, could be because every Iowa home game was cashing that dog trend pretty much every time. It was Rutgers, Nebraska, every team. It was cashing for every team. Whoever they played at home. Indiana, it was cashing every time. So we're going to go through this betting card, and I'm going to give you my plays. So we have one play for the Friday. This is the win game. Northwestern Duke. Wind's supposed to be like 19 miles per hour. Total's 37.5. They're going under the 37.5 total. These are not two teams that aren't really that good. Plus, we're getting the terrible wind conditions. We're going to take under 37.5 in Duke Northwestern. That is a system 1-unit play. Moving on, 12 o'clock. I took Michigan plus the 7.5. This is just a 1-unit play. I'm not in love with it. It's kind of like just an auto play for me because of the overreaction. Like, I just have to take the 7.5. I think it falls 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think we end up cashing this. I'm going to take Michigan at home. As the total goes down, I just like it even more as well. I'll take Michigan plus the 7.5 in Ann Arbor. I believe that's our only 12 o'clock game. I don't love this slate as much as I did last week, but there are still plays in here. Now, 3:30, I have a lot. I'm taking South Carolina plus 10. I already bet this. I just see now the number's 8.5. The number fall down. So this fits our trend play here. I'm trying to find the line on Vegas Insider. Okay, so there is a 10 out there on MGM. I would go out and grab that. Hopefully that's still out there by the time this video comes out. I would play this to 9.5, because that's the system. If it's 8.5 or lower, or 9 or lower, I would not play South Carolina here. But this is a system play right here. This is a road conference dog, getting 9.5 or more. The total's less than 48.5, so we're playing the Gamecocks against the Wildcats here. It's an ugly play. It's a hold your nose, hold your butt kind of play, but we are going to play it here. That is our third bet here of this card. Moving on, Maryland, Michigan State. Michigan State also fits this only if you can get 9.5. The line's teetering on 8.5, 9.5 right now at this moment. I don't know what it's going to be when kickoff comes. This number opened 10, went to 7.5. Now it's coming back up. There's like 4 or 5 9.5s out there. If you can get 9.5 for Michigan State, I would play that. That's going to be another play for us here. Plus 9.5 for Michigan State against Maryland. Totals under 48.5. That's another system play. We're going to play Michigan. These are all 1-unit plays. I don't think I have an upgrade this week. In the NFL, I do. I don't think so as of right now in college football. So that's going to be our third or fourth play. I don't remember. I think our fourth play. Moving on here. Just trying to get through the card. All right, last one on this trend, this conference trend here. Temple plus 13.5. It came down as 12.5 now. I got 13.5 earlier in this week. I know I'm sitting in Temple University right now as we make this video, which is kind of crazy. What are the odds of that? But I'm taking Temple plus the 13.5 at Navy. It's a conference game. The total's 42.5. Yes, I know Temple's one of the worst teams in the country. You could argue Temple is the worst team in the country, but Navy's not much better. And are we really sure that Navy is 13.5 points better than Temple? Because I'm not really sure of that. If you look at last year, Temple was not great. Navy was 7.5-point favorites against Temple, and Temple won the game outright. I believe it was here at Temple. Temple won the game outright. I think that was their first win of the season. Now it's 6.5 points more. I think the D-line is a lot better this year. Like, if I watched that Temple-Oklahoma game, they didn't look good, but the one thing that looked okay to me was the D-line of Temple. They were able to get some pressure. They were stopping some runs. Navy, all they do is run, right? All they do is run. There's not going to be much passes in this game. So I like the D-line. I think that's the strength. I'll take plus 13.5 here for Temple. And I think the clock now with the headset, the clock's going to be running even more. I'll take Temple plus 13.5 at Navy here. That is our 5th play of the day. We now move on to the 7 o'clock window. Bama in South Florida is an interesting game to me. I see a lot of people on 29.5. People I respect are on Bama minus 29.5. I just can't get there. I want to see this game a little bit. Just watch it. Kansas and Illinois is going to be a good game at 7 p.m. I'm passing on that, but I don't keep leaning Illinois in that one. I think it's just a weird game where Illinois will play defense good enough to cover the spread, but I'm not betting that one as well. Let's see here. Moving on to 7:30, the primetime main event game. We are taking NC State plus the 10. I got 8.5. I don't know why this number went to 10. I have to look. Maybe there's an injury. But I'm taking the 10 here. I think it's way, way, way too many points to be moved here. From 4.5 last week all the way up to 10. From an overreaction from FCS games, I can't buy that one. I will take the Wolfpack plus the 10. Colorado, Nebraska on NBC. Another big one. You know what? I should probably make a side video on this too. I actually probably will wrap this video. Nebraska minus 7. We're laying the 7. I tried to get 6.5 earlier in the week. I missed it. I think 6.5 is the number. If you got 6.5, that's a great number to have. I'm taking Nebraska minus a 7. Colorado didn't look good in the trenches last week, and that was the whole thing I wanted to watch, is how good they looked in the trenches, and they did not look good in the trenches. And I think Nebraska was a pretty good D-line, really good D-line. Is going to get pressure. They're going to be able to stop the run. Can Colorado handle that? I don't think so. I'll take Nebraska minus a 7. They're going to be able to score. They have a really good receiver. Raiola looks really, really good at quarterback. Looking like Patrick Mahomes Jr. out there. Looking like the second best quarterback in the Big Ten right now is Raiola. I'll take Nebraska minus the 7 at home. I'll take Nebraska to win that game. 8 p.m. game, Clemson at App State. I got plus 17.5. The number's now 16.5. This is another trend here, actually. When a team loses in week 1 and then is a big favorite in week 2, they tend to not cover that spread again. So I will take App State, who's a good team. App State on a neutral against Colorado is probably favored. Like, this App State team is really good. Arguably the best group of 5 team in the country, next to like Boise State or Liberty or UNLV maybe. Right there. They're right there. They're just as good. They actually play Liberty soon coming up. That's a monster game. But I'll take the plus 17.5 against Clemson here. I don't like what I saw offensively from Clemson. I think Clay Klubnik is not great. Clemson kind of reminds me of Florida State right now, quarterback-wise. I think DJ and Cade are in the same boat as we really can't play. We're really not that good. And I'll take App State to just not be afraid and go in there and win, and play well enough to cover the spread. I will only play this at 17. I don't love 16.5. If that's the only number out by the time this comes out and you want to play it, I don't hate it, but try and get a 17 if you can. Our last play here, this is a gut check for me. Mississippi State plus 6.5 against ASU. I see here on ESPN it's down to 5.5. Give me the 6.5. I'll take the SEC team over the Big 12 team now. Arizona State went and killed Wyoming last week at home, like 48-0. Now, we don't really know how good Wyoming is, so I think this is a little bit overreaction. Last week, if you told me what's the line of this game, I probably would have said ASU minus 2.5, maybe. Like, I get it, Mississippi State isn't as probably one of the worst, maybe is the worst SEC team. But you can argue Arizona State is a bottom 5 Big 12 team, right? I'm going to take Mississippi State to cover 6.5. The fact that the line went to 6.5 and came down and never touched 7 shows me that this team is inside a touchdown of Arizona State, and I already agree with that. So I will take Mississippi State plus the 6.5. These are all one-unit plays, and yeah, that's going to be the betting card here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys stuck out to the end of the video. My name is Josh Wissing. Thank you.